Hello, Shades of Awakening friends. I was encouraged by Liza of Shades of Awakening to share a little bit of my story and experience with this topic. And my name is Sarah Seidelmann, and I am a fourth generation physician turned shamanic healer. And one of the most life-altering things that I learned about spiritual emergencies, or psychiatric crises, was not something I learned in medical school, but was something I learned about 7 or 8 years ago when my own family was in crisis. I was reading a book by Malidoma Somé, and also ran into the article that Jason Gaddis had written, and I'm sure many of you are familiar with. It was introduced this idea that when somebody is having a psychotic break or is going through some sort of what in medicine we would call a psychiatric diagnostic, a diagnosable condition, it is possible that they are undergoing an initiation of some sort, or in other words, a very difficult experience, so that they can learn something wonderful, retrieve a treasure and bring that back to the community and share that gift or that treasure. And I found this idea so tremendously helpful in a situation where, at the time, my mom was ill, and this is my mom and my sister have both talked publicly about their bipolar illness, and my mom had gone into a crisis, her first and only crisis that she's had, and it was very scary and very frightening and concerning for all of us. And in the midst of that, I had discovered this idea from Malidoma Somé, and maybe and Jason Gaddis had introduced it as well. And I remember sharing it. I was sitting in the garage one night as I was talking to my sister on the phone and my dad on the phone about what was going on with mom. And at that point, she was already hospitalized, and it was very, very difficult. And I just decided to share with them this idea that this could possibly be mom's having an initiation, not this is horrible, mom's becoming bipolar, which is a chronic condition that we can never do anything about, which is such a depressing and darkening thought. But no, that this could possibly be an initiation, and if we could kind of circle the wagons of love around her, and if she wants to be well and we can help her as a community and as a family, that she's going to be getting a great treasure and a great gift from this. And I explained that to my sister and my dad, who are both very intellectual and smart people, and they were like, well, I don't know if I agree with that, but I remember my dad saying that sounds like an exciting idea. And I know for me, it totally shifted my experience of what I think about people who are, when I'm interacting with somebody who has or is going through a crisis like this. It shifted my perspective of how I looked at my mom, and I stopped looking at her as a victim, but more in a curiosity and excitement about what might she potentially discover in this process, and loving her throughout that process, of course, because it's not to say that these processes aren't painful and difficult and terribly isolating and terrifying. But it certainly shifted that perspective. And my sister, who's been very public about her battles with depression and mental illness, my sister's Maria Bamford. I know when I began to, she had some struggles around that period as well, where she was hospitalized, which again was very scary for me as a sister. I mean, I want to protect her from everything, don't want her to suffer. But when I learned that, again, it just shifted my perspective from looking at her as somebody who'd been victimized by a terrible illness to somebody who's undergoing an initiation of some sort. So how could I support her from that light? How could I, what did I have to offer? So I'm really excited that we're exploring these ideas, because I think what I've learned now through my own practice is that all of these special beings who go through these experiences them often have something amazing and a gift to share with all of us. And so if we approach them with this attitude of curiosity and openness and a lot of love and a lot of support and a lot of understanding, you know, we all stand to benefit. So I just want to, say thank you all for exploring these ideas, and I guess that's all I have to say, except for that I think too, I'm not a person who believes that I still believe that we need psychiatry, we need shamanic healing, we need it all, you know, we need anything we can get to support people who are going through crises, because we don't know exactly what combination of things is going to help. So I don't have a stance on that, except for that not viewing people who are going through these crises as victims, but as heroes who are on their journey hunting for treasure, and we are there to step in to aid them in any way we can. Not to get the treasure for them, that's their job, you know, that's their journey, but to be there to prop them up, to hold them up, to feed them, to love them, so that they can find what they need to find. So thank you.